Perfect. So I just want to welcome everyone. And before we go any further, I would like to call on Thickwood Heights student James McIver for welcome and land acknowledgement.
Today we acknowledge that we are meeting on Treaty 8 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Cree, the Nez, as well as the Métis. We acknowledge many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today, and those who have gone before us. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting.
Thank you, James. And to follow, I would like to introduce Katie Giles, our cultural navigator, to say a blessing.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so if we can just all bow our heads and I'll just say a quick prayer. Dear Creator, thank you for this beautiful day, and thank you for allowing us to have another day. Thank you for the blessing of our land and waters, for the air that we breathe. Thank you for the sun that gives us heat and light. And thank you especially for all of our guests here with us today. Marcicho.
I would like to thank Katie for that blessing, and I'd like to introduce Shirley Ann Oldnall, who is grade 4 teacher at Thickwood Heights School, and also the First Nations Métis Inuit liaison. So Shirley, take it away.
My job today, first of all, welcome everybody, is to say a very big thank you to you all, and a big thank you to Canadian Tire Jumpstart, who made this possible for us. And we've certainly been inspired this week to raise our game in terms of moving around, physical fitness, and getting fit, and mentally and physically. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shirley. My name is Annalie Nutter, and I am the Assistant Superintendent for Fort McMurray Public School Division. And one of my jobs is to ensure a safe and caring environment for our students, one that supports the staff and the students so that we can ensure that we're doing the best that we can to educate our students with regards to truth and reconciliation and sharing Indigenous culture, and just that awareness piece about our local Indigenous communities. So I'm very pleased to hear of Thickwood Heights' grand plan to focus this week on Indigenous sports and culture. And I was even more excited to be asked to lead this afternoon's panel, so thank you for including me. I am from Central Saskatchewan originally, but I have been a visitor on Treaty 8 territory now for about, I think I've lost track, I think it's 19 years. I have two great-great-grandparents who are Métis from Green Lake, Saskatchewan and Red River, Manitoba. I love learning about the history and current affairs of local community groups and individuals, and I'm very honored to be able to speak with our 6 guests today to hear more about them. We will be sitting in our Zoom circle, and I have a number of questions to address to each of you. And of course, towards the end, we'll open it up to get the audience questions answered as well. This is my first time hosting such an event, so bear with me. I would like to start by having each of you introduce yourselves as I call your names, and maybe just tell us who you are, where you're from, and a bit about what you may have been doing with students this week or what you've been doing recently. Try and squeeze that piece of introduction into 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to the bigger questions, if you may. And I guess I will start with, I'll start with the people that I know first. How about that? I'll start with Métis Bev. Please introduce yourself. And you'll have to unmute yourself, Bev.
I'm usually the one that's hosting it. I'm like, I forget about the mute button. Oh, thank you so much, everybody from Thickwood, for inviting us all here today. It's a real joy to keep us all connected, and especially with culture. And I'm from Fort Vermilion, Alberta, and I was born in a family of 20. And I was born with my Métis music and my dancing all my life. I was surrounded by it. And it's an honor to share that with all the children, and incorporating that, how culture is so important when it comes to education, and how, that mind, body, spirit works. And I really, really need to program the kids into what I didn't have when I was younger. And that's missing that cultural connection with your future and where you want to go. And I think that that'll be, and that was my whole focus this week is getting our children to have a higher education and realize how important that culture really is, and finding those gifts and anything they're dreaming about, they can become. And self-esteem comes from that culture.
Thank you,
Hopefully
Beth.
I answered everything.
All right, I'll move along to Robert and Chloe.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you. My name is Robert Grangem, originally from Fort Chipewyan. Mother's from Fort Smith, so kind of tied between two communities. Currently on traditional Mikisew territory, I guess Treaty 8 belong to Mikisew as well. Yeah, my ancestry is very, I guess, ingrained in the Wood Buffalo National Park, and we've been existing here, both Chloe and I, since the pandemic. Here full time, so we've been very fortunate and very blessed to have the experience and share with you guys, and, through virtual technology. And yeah, just to say, I've been working 15 years. I ended that career about 5 years ago, and I've now transitioned to a full-time trapper, educator, in a lot of areas that I'm introduction about myself, I guess.
Atlanitea, Suye, Denendes Diasti. I'm Brenda. I'm Chloe Dragon Smith. I'm from Denenday, which is our Dene word for the Northwest Territories. So
Unfortunately, your internet is
on my mom's side is Dene from Dad. Grew up in Edmonton. His family.
Maybe Chloe, if you guys turn your video right off and just try the mic, it might be better.
Okay, how's this? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still lagging. So Chloe and Robert are coming to us from Moose Island, I believe, north of Fort Chip. So they've been having internet issues today. How about
Hello.
you? Hi. Try again, Chloe. Yep. Yeah, no, it's still lagging. We'll come back to you if you want to zoom out and come back in. And we'll move on to Dallas Arcan. Dallas?
Well, hello and good day, everybody. I'm Dallas Arcan. It's a great honor to be part of this this panel today, and to be part of your school district initiatives and goals for educating and inspiring these young people, these future leaders of our country. And as for my background, I am a 3-time world champion hoop dancer, and I'm a full-time artist. I've been doing this for many years, nearly 2 decades worth, and beyond. I've been involved in arts and culture, everything to do with powwow and performance and a lot of different things. And I made the decision to become a professional artist. What's that?
No, we still can't hear you guys. Dallas is speaking right now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's really lagging. Sorry, Dallas.
Okay.
Wonderful. Oh,
Shirley, do you want to give them a call? Okay, sorry, Dallas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on there, but
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the delay. And I imagine it's challenging for them to try to have their internet going and
Yeah.
way up in the boonies there. In Kelowna, BC, so I've got great internet. I used to have the same problem on the res on Alexander First Nation, that's where I'm from. I'm from Alexander First Nation, which is in the Treaty 6 territory. Even though it's close to Edmonton, we had very sketchy internet, and that's how it is when you're living in rural communities. And I can imagine the challenges that you have with the internet and technology. This technology doesn't really get along good with being way out in the woods. So, anyways, as I was saying, I took this journey a long time ago. As an artist, I decided to just do this full time, and it's been wonderful. I've had many opportunities to perform around the world. The Calgary Stampede, for example, I've done 20 years with the Calgary Stampede, doing the grandstand show, performing with many different celebrities and big acts, and I've toured across Canada a few times. So, anyways, what I was doing this week with the kids is, in all the classes, is I was doing a program that I designed during this pandemic called Powwow Dance Aerobics, and it's where I actually using my skills as a dancer to encourage people to stay in shape. So I've had people all ages and cultural backgrounds join my program, and people from around the world, and people like elders and young people. And I actually had reached up to 1 million people with my program, and it's a totally free program that I did just to encourage people to stay healthy, to stay safe during the pandemic, and to basically take care of your body and take care of yourself. And what I do is very athletic, so I've been sharing just little bits of culture and stuff with the kids, and I've had nothing but great feedback. So thanks again for having me for your school district, guys, and it's a great honor and a privilege to be next to all you panelists as well. It's you guys are inspirational as well, so it's a great honor for me to be here with you today. So thank you.
Thanks, Dallas. I'm going to move over to Brandon next. Brandon Nolan.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for inviting myself and my younger brother, Jordan, here, who you'll meet in a little bit. I'm a proud Ojibwe from Garden River First Nation. Grew up there, and then I was fortunate enough to play professional hockey for about 5 years. Played all over, played a little bit in the NHL, a lot in the minor leagues, a little bit in Europe. But my career was cut short and ended by a serious head injury, a concussion, when I was 25 years old. And then I was forced to go back to school, get educated. And then through that process, working with my younger brother and my father, Ted Nolan, we came up with the idea to launch an organization called Three Nolans. We do a lot of events like this throughout the year, a lot of charity events, a lot of conferences. We also have a clothing line, and probably the most thing that we like to do is get out in the communities and work with the youth, and we do that through our hockey schools called the Three Nolans First Nation Hockey Schools, and we do those all across Canada. Small communities, big communities, fly-in communities close to cities, and it's that work that we truly love to do and work with the youth. I'm proud of the work we do, and I can't wait to get back to some sense of normalcy here, so we can get back into the communities. Like this event here today, I wish we were in person. We could meet everyone, shake your hand, maybe even give you a hug, but hopefully we can do that again in the near future. But really excited to be here with you guys today. Happy to share what I can, and also I like coming on these events as well because I get to learn a little bit from each and every one of you. So thanks again for inviting myself and my younger brother Jordan, and just looking forward to today and tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Brandon. All right, Jordan, you want to add on to that? Introduce yourself?
Yeah, no, my brother took half my speech there. So I'm Jordan Nolan from Garden River First Nation. I played professional hockey for the past 10 years. I played for the Los Angeles Kings, where I won 2 Stanley Cups. I played with the Buffalo Sabres, the St. Louis Blues, and I was also a part of that Stanley Cup winning team. But probably the best part of my career so far is winning those 2 Stanley Cups with the Los Angeles Kings. and bringing the Stanley Cup back to our community in Garden River, and having those special events with the community and family and friends. And I think growing up, our dad has told us about never forgetting where you're from and your culture and your community. So that was important for me. Once we won that trophy, was to bring it back and celebrate with everyone. But that was probably the highlight of my career. But about physical fitness and staying active. My brother, when I was playing in LA, he reached out to Nike, and they had this Nike N7 clothing line, which supports Indigenous communities and youth programs. And their whole goal is get more fitness. But he was able to connect me with Nike N7, where I was one of their ambassadors for about 4 years. So that's some work I did, luckily, while I was playing in Los Angeles. And, we still have a good partnership to this day. So I'm just happy to be here, and hopefully get to talk to the kids tomorrow and tell them a bit more about my story.
Awesome. Thank you. And it looks like Chloe and Robert found a solution. So let's hear from you one more time.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're just on the cell phone, so apologize for the delays. But Chloe, you introduce yourself, but.
Sure. So I was just introducing myself and my family. So my mom's family is Dene Saint-René, or Chippewan, from Fort Smith area. Dene Saint-René means people of the land. So we've been on the land for a long time around this area. And I have stories from my grandma about growing up and being on the land within the park where we are today. So very special for me as well. My father's family is German in heritage, and they came over from Germany a couple generations ago as refugees from wars that were going on there. So that's my heritage, and very connected with land and family in the north around the NWT and here. And we were lucky enough to speak to the kids this morning about what it takes to live out on the land full time for us through all the seasons, and what the little details of our lives look like. And happy to share and be here. Thank you, everyone. Tahuna.
Again, my name is Robert Grangem Jr. I grew up in the community of Fort Chippewa till the age of 15, then moved into Fort Smith, where my mother's from. And I graduated there, went off into trade school, and I became a millwright for 15 years, but still connected with, I guess, my culture, my identity, who I was. Truly, I was a hunter and trapper since I was a little wee lad, and started trapping at the age of 6. But I always maintain that connection through schooling, through jobs that I had in the South, and always returned to the North. And I guess Wood Buffalo was a huge part of my existence, and where my family's been long legacy of trapping and hunting, and their activities of existence took place. So I've always maintained that. So up to about 4 years ago, I retired the millwright hat, and I took on the full-time trapper, and I've been existing since then. But yeah, it's an interesting learning curve to share the wisdom and the knowledge of just believing in yourself and allowing that little boy's dream when I was 6 years old to fulfill it, and share that capacity with the students of, you can believe in yourself, and if you do, anything is possible. Because I was always told that you can never make a living or a lifestyle out of trapping anymore, financial wise. But we're doing pretty good for ourselves, and very enjoying, the outdoor space and the healthiness of it, and the activities that go along. Maintaining a physical physique for the both of us for cold weathers, and maintaining our existence, and cutting our own wood, hauling our water, being very conscientious of our existence and nature is so important, and that's truly an identity piece for us. But yeah, it's a little bit about myself, I guess, and I belong to the Mikisew Cree First Nation, currently on Treaty 8 territory. But yeah, I have family ties in Fort McKay, Anzac, down to Wabasca, Garden River, John Doerr, High Level, up to Yellowknife, Fort Smith, and any surrounding little communities. Basically, it's quite an extended family from the both of us, and we're very pleased and proud to come to you from Wood Buffalo National Park. And you are correct, Annalie, it's Moose Island, so we're along the Peace River, where the Peace River ends and the Slave starts, and that flows north. So we're on a very interesting time. We're in spring season, so we're just we're doing our beavers and our muskrats, and our waterfall that's passing through to fill our freezers for the summer, and the community members. We're actually just shipping some traditional foods home to the elders today. So it's kind of an honor and a privilege to maintain this our existence out here and contribute to the community. So a little about myself and Chloe. Thank you.
And it's a miracle that we can come in virtually at all. So please be patient with our internet. Hopefully it'll stay stable now.
Hopefully, yes. No, I'm glad that you were able to come back in. So I am very honored to be here with all of these special guests because you all have some great successes to share today with our students. I'm going to start with my first question, and I'll choose one of you to start, and then we'll kind of bounce off of one another. I'd like to find out how you became successful at what you do. So how did you become so successful at what you do? And I'm going to start with Dallas. Dallas, how did you become so successful?
I just became successful at what I do by just continuing on the path and putting in the 10,000 hours that it takes to become good at anything. And I just took every opportunity that came my way, and I just followed my dream and put real work into breaking it down into goals, into training, into like it didn't just happen just because I wanted it to. I had to put a lot of work into it as well. So I've had to, I don't know anybody that likes getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning to go for a jog and train. And I don't know anybody that likes to, maybe the professional hockey players there, the Nolans, can relate to that, to having to practice and practice and practice. So that's what it takes, though. That's what it takes for you to get to the destination and what you want to get to, like your dream of becoming something and becoming good at something and becoming so good at something that it'll take you places in life. So that's all it took for me to just to persevere in my career. It took a lot of commitment, a lot of time, a lot of energy, and on top of that, it wasn't just that made me successful. It was also a combination of things too. I didn't just have one trick up my sleeve. I also valued education along the way. So getting my education was essential to my success, because it definitely complemented and added that extra layer to my success, which made me even more successful in the long run. So definitely the education helped, and everything along the way. And as well, being tied to the culture too, being connected to the culture, like from my community and beyond, and other Indigenous cultures, and being mindful of that. So really, that's what kind of sums up my success, is just staying on the path and staying committed and staying focused. I haven't always been perfect, and things always ain't always perfect. You get struggles and challenges along the way, because I've had things in my life come into my life that almost made me like give up a few times, and even to this day I still have challenges that I'm faced with. So either way, I know that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and you just got to not give up and keep pushing forward.
Thank you. Jordan, can you expand on the goal setting? What kind of goal setting did you have to do to get to where you are in your success?
Yeah, I think obviously me and my brother, we grew up in a hockey family. Our dad coached and played in the National Hockey League. So I knew at a young age that I wanted to play in the NHL, and I knew it was going to be a challenge, but that was the goal I set for myself. But like Dallas said, it's not fun waking up early and training and running those long miles and going to the gym. But that's what you had to do to accomplish your dreams. But I think it starts from a young age. I think, I realized how difficult it was. Once you get about 16 years old, you have to move away from home. You're by yourself. I think at 16, my brother was playing pro hockey. My dad was coaching in a different city, and my mom was close by, kind of keeping a close eye on me, because it was my first time away from home. But I knew that's what had to be done in order for me to play in the National Hockey League. I had these steps of playing junior hockey, and then in the AHL, and then hopefully to the NHL. So I set little goals for myself, whether it be the training or the food planning, or staying on the weekends when my friends kind of wanted to go out late and and stay up late, but I knew I had to get up early and train and eat properly. So there's definitely little steps and little goals along the way. But if you work hard and do those things right, then you should accomplish kind of what your heart set out to be. But yeah, it's not easy, and it definitely takes a lot of hard work. But it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I'm hearing dedication is definitely a big piece of meeting your goals. Thank you, Jordan. Bev, tell us more about yourself and how you got started in your whole role that you're in right now, and what kind of goal setting did you have to make, either at a young age or more recently?
Well, I guess growing up in an environment where you're out there and you're searching and you're lost and you're you're going through school and you're always searching for something, and it's like when you're 15 years old, it's like hormones and everything take over, and then you realize it was like, well, who am I? You start searching for that culture, and you go through life and you don't realize as you're going along that you're always trying to be somebody else. You want to be somebody else. You're going through life, and was working at these jobs. I thought big money is going to get me somewhere. I was a truck driver, and I drove a 170-ton truck, and I'm like, and it was miserable. There was something missing in my life. And if you ask me how I got successful, try working at Walmart. Like, I couldn't handle it. And one day, I relate to Rick what he said. When I was 6 years old, I had a dream. I saw people dancing, Sammy Davis Jr. Dancing in his chairs, and I was like, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do when I grow up. And then I finally got that message when I worked. They asked me to come and perform and dance. I've had that dancing in my blood and in my spirit, and the music was always with me. And so they asked me to dance one time for a thing, and I made as much doing that and something I love doing as I did 2 weeks at Walmart. Even though I like working, and that was another part of my personality, is something from your culture. There's a gift there. Like the entrepreneurs from the Hudson's Bay Company, when we were sent off to schools, we were entrepreneurs. We were the teachers. We were gifted with accounting. We're all gifted with this stuff. And I started realizing, well, why am I working for somebody else when I have this gift and this knack for teaching, and why don't I put it into a lesson plan and embody that mind, body, spirit in it while I'm doing that. And then I'm giving these children those baby steps that I learned into being that. So for me, being successful in setting goals is like, what do you want? What do you want at the end? What do you want to gift somebody? Do you want them just to dance, or do you want to gift them something with empowerment? That's what I want them to. I want them to go. I don't want them to go through these baby steps that I have, because our children have been suffering for too long, for too many years. And if I can get them there faster, to where I am working and going trapping. Rick, my dad was a trapper. That's why I'm surrounded with all, and that's what makes you successful is really living your dream and not worrying about well, today I really I asked the creator, I asked my grandmothers and grandfathers what I should do. Do you know what? I get my answers. Those are my goals. When I ask the question, I always get my answer of what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to do it. So my elders and my grandmothers and grandfathers play a real big key in my success. And I'm always in the community. I'm always listening to their stories too, especially with the residential school. So that is a big part of how I'm going to keep my goals and my success going. is listening. And let's hope I answered the question. I'm a little nervous today. I haven't been on a panel before. Do you know that?
Me too.
Like,
I've
'cause-
done this job. But you did it beautifully. You said it beautifully. You thought you thought you needed to go make big money, but that wasn't what it was all about. There was something in your heart that told you had another gift, and it's nice that you're able to do that now. So thank you, Bev.
Thanks.
Brandon, tell us a little bit about your goals and your role model.
Oh, geez. Well, I had simple goals when I was a kid. I mean, they change all the time, but like my brother, my goal was just to play in the NHL, and I did everything I could to accomplish that goal. You know, like he said, like Dallas said, extreme hard work, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of early mornings, just you know, a lot of sacrifice for sure to reach those goals. But now, like as I'm getting older, I'm turning 38 this summer. I've been married for 11 years. I have 3 kids of my own. Goals have definitely changed. Just you know, trying to be the best husband and father I could be. You know, when you guys are talking about success, I used to think like success was making a lot of money, like Bev said, or you know, we measure that in success. But you know, as I mentioned earlier, getting older, you see that, you know, being success is, for me, and I think for my family, if I speak for my brother, my father, it's giving back where we can. You know, attending as much charity events as we can, working with the youth. We've been lucky enough to play in the NHL, and we feel it's somewhat of a duty to give back where we can. And, you know, for me, if I can get out in the community more and work with more youth and attend as many events as I can to spread my message, or to spread a message of hard work, dedication, determination, stuff like that, then I feel like I've had a successful year, a successful month, and then I could look myself in the mirror and be proud of what I accomplished. So yeah, that's just you know, goals constantly change for me. Like I said, but you know, for upcoming goals, it's just for myself and my family members, just continue to do the work that we do, and, you know, put our head down, work hard, and just being proud of the work we did, like I said, and be able to look ourselves in the mirror and be proud of that work. So constantly learning, constantly growing, and I'm sure new goals will come along as I grow. I
think that that's everybody's life. The goals are always changing, and you always have a target that you're moving towards. So thank you for that. I appreciate what you said too about the money. It's not about the money. It's about your satisfaction with the way you're living your life. So that's absolutely correct. Robert and Chloe, tell us about some of the challenges that you've had with what you're currently doing. Like, I know that before, you said you were a millwright before, and then you moved into what you're currently doing, Robert. What are some challenges? And you mentioned people saying that, you know, this wasn't going to be something that you could do. Tell us about some of the challenges that you have with your business and or your work that you're doing.
Well, it's a very dynamic panel, so thank you very much for everybody for sharing. You know, I say it's very privileged and honored again to be a part of this event today. You know, the challenges are just basically it's maintaining focus and believing in yourselves and believing in us and what our abilities we can do, right? You know, our legacy, I guess, our passing down to our children, to what we could become. And I think if we find out early on in ourselves, we can believe in ourselves, and find that spiritual connection to who we are early in life, I think we'll have you know, it's better success in the long run. You know, I say chasing a dollar or making big bucks in the oil sands, or you know, chasing a dream is not chasing a dream, chasing big bucks. Yeah, is always an unhealthy way to understand success or measure success, basically. And doing what you love and enjoy, you know, sharing culture, you know, sharing skills and knowledge and wisdom to pass it on is so much more rewarding. And so the challenges for us is, you know, is where do we find time for ourselves to help along with that way? Because you know, we could be in very high demand, but we have to balance ourselves to where we could still exist and you know, and participate with the ecosystems around us, and maintain that to where you know, we can't overextend ourselves. You know, there's a very small windows of when we can harvest successfully, and that is you know, so crucial. Of been the passing of my, you know, elders to understand. but not to exploit it. And that's where it's a very fine line. So that's one of the biggest challenges, I think, in today's society of maintaining our existence and our passing our legacy on to where we can fine tune the recipe of where holistically it actually makes sense, right? And it's not a commodity, it's not a resource, it's a lifestyle here for us. And again, that's a very Western approach when you look at resources as oil and gas, and you look at our byproducts as our beautiful furs that we get to harvest and trap and sell them to an open market, and we don't get any benefits after that other than just a monetary gain. Our truly blessings is when gifts from the land are shared with us, and we get to share it back to our communities. And we make moose hides, and we're love to share that, and we love to share the ability to how to sew fur hats and mitts. And so I guess the point I'm trying to get to is it's a very important tool to navigate, but also to where you say it's I got lost train of thought.
I think for us, thinking about goals, we don't so much set goals of like somewhere to go next. It's more this constant, like Rob's saying, like striving for balance, like thinking about balance in our lives and what that means in so many different ways, like in harvesting, in our own keeping our own selves strong and our own time amidst it all, and creating a life that's holistic. Because if you are living as part of the land, you understand that there's so many different things that need to be taken care of at all the time. So we're kind of just always participating and going with the flow in a sense, rather than setting somewhere to go. But within that, we're holding ourselves strong and connected. And then from that can flow the balance to other types of things. And I think that's how we overcome the challenges that do come with living out here. But, it's funny, like there are challenges in how we get our food and water and all these things that we take for granted in cities, but they don't really actually feel like so much challenges when we are who we are and we're connected and we're happy and we're thriving. It's like a different kind of challenge when you're working for something you love, and it's in a way easier.
Yes, and that reminds me of Dr. Darian Kira, because he talks about culture being the medicine. So I totally understand where you're coming from when you're talking about the balance. And the theme for this event, which the Lakewood Heights School has organized, is physical activity and healthy living. So my next question for you to think about is, how does what you do make you feel? And when you're unable to do your activity, how does that make you feel? And I'm going to start this time with Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I think growing up, I've always tried to be active, and that's part of my job, really. But I find there are times throughout the day where if I didn't get my morning walk in or I didn't get my workout in, I could be a little cranky or a little bit down on myself. And I find that even just getting up and going for a quick 20-minute walk really kind of lifts my day and really sets the tempo for my day. Getting a quick workout in wherever I can, whether it's going in the basement and doing a 20-minute workout or anything really, anything you kind of get your body moving, whether it's a brisk walk or a quick bike ride or taking my kids to the park. I find that's really important to my my mental health and my emotional health. But it's like I said, it's been part of my job. But I think as I've been a father now with two kids, getting outside and getting some fresh air is really important to my well-being, and I think my family's well-being too. So that's probably the first thing I want to do in the morning is get outside. And if I can't get outside, then I got to find time for myself and make that little note for later. If it happens at the end of the day, then so be it. But at least I'm getting out there and being active.
Thank you. Dallas, did you want to talk a little bit about fitness and when you can't do your activities, how it makes you feel?
That's kind of how I created the powwow dance aerobics, because I had to change. Like I had a whole year basically just disappear, like a whole year of plans, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. Like I'm sure we all had plans for the summer of 2020, which is basically a write-off. I was scheduled to perform at the Indigenous Games, at the North American Indigenous Games. I was scheduled to open that, and there's times like where I go to different First Nations communities in my travels, and they don't always have access to a gym and stuff like that. So one of the things that I've always done, like in my travels, is I always go for a jog in whatever community I'm at, and for me, that's an immediate connection to the land. Some people think I'm crazy because it'll be -30 or -35, and I'll be out there jogging on the land, and they're like, "Aren't you worried about wolves, cougars, or anything getting attacked by res dogs?" I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I'll just carry a stick and I'll be okay. So that's kind of one of the things that I do to ground myself and to connect myself to the land and to the people, to the community. A lot of times I'm like the only one out there jogging in these communities that I go to, including my own. Like I'm probably one of the only crazy persons that jogs in my community, and I jog through the mud. I jog through and I just pay no mind to it because I'm not out there to have the perfect time or anything like that. Like I have special shoes that I wear that I can get muddy that I don't care about, and I just get out there and I just jog. I just do it because I know the benefit of doing it is it's a proactive approach to your health. And if you do that for yourself, you not only feel good, but you increase your confidence. You start to like you look good in appearance. It's like you're satisfied with if you're not satisfied with things in your life, then only you can make that change to make it happen. It's like I've heard a couple of different life coaches say you must participate in your own rescue because only you can change the course of your life and how you want it to be. And like if you've got 2 feet in the heartbeat, you can do it. And it doesn't matter where you're at in the world or where you're at in your career or whether you're successful or not successful. Failure is the biggest measure of success. So never be afraid to fail because I've failed more times than I've succeeded. And, it's like Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So there you go.
Thanks, Dallas. Yeah, I know you do your aerobics on your Facebook page, so you must have to stay in shape just for that reason. And you said you've created that particularly because you were unable to do the regular things that you would do for your hoop dancing. So I appreciate that. Speaking of aerobics, I know Métis Bev does Métis aerobics. I was online yesterday. She was with Greeley Road School. And I know it was very light work for you, but man, I got my workout. So tell us a little bit about how you get in shape and
how old I am.
I know, I'm out of shape. But tell us a little bit about your physical health and how it feels when you're not participating and, exercising and eating healthy and what that does for your career, I guess, because that's what you do every day with the kids.
Exactly. I think I've been incorporated this since 1996, I think, when I put the mind, body, spirit, or mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. I added it to my program, and a big part of it is the physical part of it. I was like, in order to keep up with these young people, oh my God, okay, I have to maintain that eating healthy every day and workout program, and that's what's keeping in me in shape is all these young students, and that's how I think of that every day. Like, what if I'm going to go out there and, like they say on the airplane too, you have to put your mask on first before you can help somebody. I always stick that in my head. I'm like, Bev, you got to keep yourself in shape, mental, emotional, and physical, and spiritually. And me, when I feel I guess I've been doing it for so many years that when COVID first hit, it was like I was lost. It was like me hitting a brick wall. My body, you say, You know, when trauma hits you, your body just vibrates like this. And I was like, it took a couple of weeks, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do now? And I felt lost for a few weeks, but I'm always a person that I ask myself, well, I ask a question, what am I supposed to do now? Like, and that balance kind of like I find, okay, what am I missing out of these four components here? And I'm like, so I started walking in the rain. I was like Dallas there. I was like, I was out there and I was trunking along with my umbrella. People were looking at me like I was crazy. And I had my music on. You know, music always cheers me up. And because I'm like, I always come back to my music and my dancing when for physical activity. And you know what? I always tell the kids this, right? This part of your body, if everybody, some of you don't know who I am, but you know, I thought this is the easiest way to show people of how, because I went to counseling years ago and they told me how to do tapping because I needed to get that emotional garbage out of my way. But I thought, how can I show the kids this? Like I can't show them everything at once. So I'm a multitasker when I'm with children. And so I use this. Everybody grab your head. This is like a computer. You got to input good thoughts into your computer every day. You know, you got to motivate yourself. You got to say you're going to have a good day, you know. And then you grab your heart. You got to feel that emotionally and spiritually. You got to talk to your elders. You got to speak. You use your voice again and get rid of that fear. And then you grab your legs. This is the most fun of all. Just kick them. Play hockey. Go to gym class. Play volleyball. Play basketball. I was always into weightlifting since I was 25 years old. And then this part of it, we all pray in a different way. It's our spirit world and our grandmothers and grandfathers. So I really do. That's my guide. And through this COVID thing, you know what? When things get tough like this, like Bev gets going, and I had to learn new technology. And right away I was on that. I paid for my own Zoom and I started learning Zoom like right off the hop. And I'm like, I can't not be around people. Like that's who I am. And I just have to say hi to Chloe there and Rick again, because you're up for my territory there, Fort Vermilion, Alberta, and up in the Dene territory. And I do teach Dene jigging too. And because they're all different styles, like the different languages. So yeah, for me, physical is a big part of my life. And I'll make sure that the children have those four components. Thank you, everybody.
It's great for you to keep. I've heard that multiple times now about the four components of health. So thank you for sharing. I think we need to go to some of the questions that are coming in online. Miguel, are you mediating those questions? Miguel's disappeared. Okay, then I will go back. I'll ask another question.
Hi, Annalie. I'm actually here. I just didn't unmute myself. Rookie mistake. So I actually sent you the link and Shirley the link. So if either one of you wants to moderate.
I'll let Shirley do that then. Thanks, Shirley.
Even better. Thank you.
You got to unmute yourself though, Shirley. Is it delayed in the, there you go.
I think there we go. I'm trying to give myself a screen where I can see everything. So I can see us and the questions. Oh, well, here's a compliment. I like this culture. Mackenzie Young says, can you ask Chloe and Robert what's their favorite animal fur?
The beaver.
What an awesome.
Yes.
Oh, well, I think, yeah, Bev, you probably nailed it. Right now, I think our favorite fur might be beaver because it's the season to harvest beavers. So we're harvesting spring beavers every night right now, and one of the the beauty of being out here is to be able to participate and see all the different beavers that are out there, and we get to have the smell of beaver around, and we get to feel all their fur, and we get to skin them, and it's a real privilege to have those gifts coming in from the land.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's a privilege to be able to be universal, I guess, in the sense of all animals are beautiful, and they're all made to their intricates of their own characteristics. Personally, I do love the wolverine. It's my favorite. But again, with health and well-being or being physically fit, I'm just more successful at my harvest, and being able to put on a pair of snowshoes and walk kilometers and kilometers and track a moose, or if I have to find an animal in the bush, I have that ability, right? So physical activity is definitely a must for the lifestyle we live.
I think it's that each animal is unique, and that I think we love them all so much. Like at the end of the year, when we were looking at all the furs that we had gathered from the winter, we didn't want to sell any or give any away, because each one has its own story and our own connection and relationship that we built with that animal. And so I think it's a lesson that the animals teach us about who we are too, and how to achieve our goals, because again, if we believe in ourselves and we get to know ourselves, and we take that time to make sure that we're strong in our own identities, then we're beautiful in whatever we do. And I think the animals show us that, because each one is, just like you say, so special in its different ways.
Thank you, Chloe. Wow, that's profound. Mrs. Swanson says, my class would like to express our appreciation for all members of the panel, including those who planned and managed the tech for these events. We've been so excited to join. Then there is a question for the Nolans. In brackets, it says, how did you guys get along as kids, and what has changed as you grew up?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we're just regular brothers. I'm sure we fought a lot. We were always on the outdoor back rink. I'm 6 years older than my brother, so I was a lot bigger when we were younger. And then as he got older, he surpassed me in height and weight. So I couldn't pick on him as much as I was able to when I was 12 years old and he was 6. But yeah, I mean, we're super, super close family. My brother, my mom, my dad, we talk every day. The past year and a half has been tough with not being able to see each other. Haven't spent time with my brother's kids. He hasn't spent time with my kids, and it's been really tough. So just looking forward to getting through these times. We're both fully vaccinated now, and here in Ontario, we're slowly moving along that process. So hoping to be able to spend quality one-on-one time with each other again. But no, we were just like any other siblings. We fought a lot, but when it came down to it, and you need each other, we loved each other very much, and we'd do anything for each other. So I think we're just the same as any other sibling combo, and yeah, just loved growing up with my little bro there.
Thank you. We have another one here that says, and I guess this is for everyone, how do you overcome challenges, and how do you keep focused on your positive goals? So I'm not sure who would like to answer that one. How do you keep focused on positivity and your goals, and how do you overcome your challenges?
Jordan, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, no, I think I talked about before, but my goal is to play in the NHL. So I moved away when I was 16 years old, away from my family. I think I met the new family I was living with probably the day that I was moving into their house. So that's obviously tough for a 16-year-old, being away from your family for the first time. But I knew that's what I had to do to accomplish my dreams. I knew I had to move away from home and play junior hockey. I knew that was one of the steps that I had to take in order to accomplish that. And on the other side of that, if I didn't take those steps, then I wouldn't be able to play pro hockey. I wouldn't be able to play in the National Hockey League for 10 years. So that's definitely been my life for the past, since I've been young, is kind of weighing these options. Can I go out with friends this weekend, or do I have to train early in the morning? These are obstacles I have to overcome every day. Or do I want to go to McDonald's 5 days this week, or do I want to eat healthy and get some good rest? These are challenges and choices I have to make. And I know that playing the NHL and visiting communities with my family members has been a big part of our life. So it's definitely been worth it. And but yeah, it's been a lot of fun visiting communities with my brothers, and that's all been because of hockey for our family and our culture.
Thank you. We've got another one here that says, how do we get kids moving more and to be engaged in the land and activity?
Let's give that one to Dallas.
Yes. He'll tell us in the rain.
Yeah, and it just takes discipline and commitment. So where focus goes, energy flows. So I think it's up to the parents, I guess, to turn off the TV for the kids and limit their electronics, for example. So I guess that would be a how. That would make the most logical sense for me. As a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch TV a lot of times, and I used to hate it. Because I wish that I had those privileges, and we were kind of poor growing up. So I remember hearing kids at school talking about Nintendo. They had Nintendo, and I didn't, of course. I had my imagination. So I used my imagination a lot of times to entertain myself, and I spend a majority of my time outdoors. So it just takes discipline, because today's kids, they kind of got it easy in a way, and so that's what it takes to get engaged. There isn't a happy magical solution where you can wave your magic wand and it'll happen. No, it's a decision and a choice, a lifestyle choice, much like Chloe and sorry, I forgot their name. Chloe and Robert. Sorry, Robert and Chloe. Much like them, and it's very, to live a lifestyle like that, it takes like a full-time commitment. Like I imagine they don't have cable TV and they're not on their internet a lot of times up there. I imagine they do have some sort of entertainment, but to get things done, you have to put down the devices. You have to get off social media. You have to do everything with intent. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you, Shirley. I think we're going to have to, we're getting close to 2:00 here. I just want to thank everybody. What I'm hearing from you all is mind, body, heart, and soul. You have to balance things. You have to be dedicated. You have to have commitment to what your goal is, and you have to be interested in what you're doing. It's not about the money. It's about how you feel doing what you're doing, and keeping physically active helps you to feel better on a daily basis. Thank you so much for your time and for joining the students online today. I know that they really appreciated it. I'm going to ask Katie to come back on. Hopefully she's still there. I see her video's off, Shirley. Are you in the room with her? Oh, there she is. I'm going to ask Katie to just give us a final prayer or blessing before we go. Katie?
Okay. So Creator, as we close this meet today, please bring good health and healing to our earth. Please watch over all of us and give us this guidance and strength we need through our hardships and day-to-day living. Watch over all of us and keep us safe from harm. Marcy Cho.
Marcy. Thank you, Katie.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you again, everybody. It was nice talking to you all and meeting you all, those of you I didn't know, and I will watch for you all online now that I know who you are.
For everybody watching, if you tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m., 11, and at 1, some of these panelists will be here as well. I know the Nolan brothers are 10 and 1, I think. And I think Dallas is at 11 tomorrow. Same address. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you.
Let's see, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.